Good day, YouTube. Welcome to Garden Tour Saturday. Today it is raining on Vancouver Island, if you haven't already noticed, and it is a little bit of a dreary day, and we're doing a garden tour. Garden Tour Saturday is hosted by Grandma Sandy. Go check her out. She's in Southern California, makes all kinds of gardening videos. Suffolk Susie in Long Island, New York is a co-host. Barb Daly at Real Life in Washington State is another co-host. And Patricia and Cube. We all collaborate together on Garden Tour Saturday. There's been tons of changes in my garden this week, so let's check it out. First of all, let's talk about this. This was some of my projects this week. Gladioli. I know it's a little early to plant them, but I did it anyways. I'll show you where I put these gladioli balls. This is the area I'm calling the flower garden, and in the back corner, that's actually where one of my fig trees ended up. It was moved, and right behind it, in this section here by the fence, coming all the way this way, underneath the ground, we have a line of two lines of 30 gladioli spaced out in pink and purple. I cannot wait to see what it's going to look like. And opposite the gladioli, along the fence where the fig tree is, we have, let me take it out of my pocket, a mixed bag of sunflower varieties. Cannot wait to see these. I am fully aware that it's probably too early to be planting sunflower seeds. They may rot or the birds may eat them, and it technically isn't anywhere close to a frost date, but I like to play Russian roulette in the garden, so this doesn't matter to me. If they don't grow, I have more sunflower seeds. Next, we're checking out a project that I was working on. My parents were here yesterday and we did a lot of stuff together, but this was my project. I did some edging work in the back border, and let me show you how it looks. So here is my edging work. This was, if you remember before, there was no edge here. It was just grass going into the manure that is here. And now there are rocks that border this fence line. I think it actually turned out really well. It's kind of giving me, I was going for whimsical in this corner, so I think it's doing exactly what I wanted, and I'm undecided about this side of the fence. Originally, I had planned on putting gravel here from the house all the way out to the border, and now I'm not so sure if I still want the gravel or if I want a thin layer, a thin strip of gravel, and then leave this as grass but make it a nicer grass. I have not decided. Let me know your thoughts on my design plan. I'm going to give you little tidbits of what the design is going to be inside and outside the fence, and if you have any thoughts or suggestions, I'm very open to changing the plan in terms of the garden design. It has changed many times since my dad and I have constructed it, so if you have any ideas of how to improve it or give it some more character, let me know in the comments. If you've been around for a while, you've probably already seen this. This was already done before the snowfall, but this is my edging. That is around the border before the rocks. And that's another look at the flower garden area. My second fig tree, originally one was going in the shade when we moved it, but oh, that's not a fig tree. That's my pear tree right here. I almost forgot to show you guys. I have plants with new growth and some with flower buds in February. I'm so excited. Check it out, guys. This is one of my hydrangeas that I planted in the fall, and it has new growth on it already in February. That is so exciting. Coming this way, this is a snow and summer ground cover that was original on this property, and look at this. It has flower buds on it already, and some of them are getting pretty close to opening. I am so excited. I did have the same plant on my old property, and it just gets the most beautiful white blooms, so it's blooming pretty early this season. Coming this way, this is my Purus bush. This is original to this property. I just tidied it up when I moved here. And look at this. It has flower blossoms on it already. They're not open, but it won't be long now. Take a moment to appreciate the birds on the wire. This neighborhood is full of birds, and there are times when there are literally, I'd say 40 to 100 birds in my backyard, and it is the most magical thing. I love it. Coming this way, just a quick overview of my vegetable garden. I did some milk jug planting. I only just begun. I was so cold that day I had to stop. I did African daisies, beefsteak tomatoes, cucumbers, and some marigolds, and there are many more milk jugs to come. You can see it's a little windy right now. The heart is shaking in the wind. We are going to check out my rock garden in the making. See, the water is starting to pool here. This is actually like an above ground ditch, which I actually think is an underground ditch. I think I have both an underground and above ground ditch situation happening with the water. The area over here, this is going to be a rock garden. It is in the making. You don't see the rocks yet, but just give it probably a month. This is going to be full of rocks and a totally different look. We're going to scale the ditch now and check out the rock garden. There is so much to see here. The spring bulbs are just popping their heads up absolutely everywhere. This is a fig tree that was original to the property, and it just has a few little buds on it. I think my viewfinder is getting full of water right now. I believe this is a hebe shrub I planted in the fall. And look at this, there's new growth on it. That is so exciting. Coming this way, this is one of my large flower beds, and it is full of over 100 tulips and daffodils in a sunshine blend. And they are just popping up here, there, and everywhere in this bed. It's going to be so colorful. And onto one of the more exciting developments this week. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what my parents were predominantly working on when they were here yesterday. I had constructed these two beds myself, but I had said to you guys that it was a work in progress and they were not finished, and they are still not finished, but you can tell they have morphed. There was no edging here before, so my dad changed my circular rocks. You can see where I had shaped it out and changed the shape, and I love it. I think it turned out really well, and same over here. This whole plant design is changing, the rocks are changing, but this is the current look. Just a work in progress. Thank you so much for joining me on this rainy, blustery, chilly afternoon on Vancouver Island. I hope you are having a lovely February, and we'll see you soon in another video. Bye bye.